Hey guys, welcome to the Finding HAViK podcast. Jake and Dom here. In today's podcast, we have Steven Milich. I've kind of ran across him in a random fashion where his son and my son are really good friends. I ended up picking up his kid for a play date the other day, and he was shooting his bow outside, getting ready for an elk hunt. And I was like, man, I think we just became best friends. Asked him to come on the podcast to talk about hunting and fishing and lots of other activities.
Yep, and I really wanted him on the podcast to talk about why all firefighters have mustaches.
He has an awesome mustache, and I'm really jealous of it. And I can only have a mustache for a short amount of time in between other shooting windows.
Yeah.
So it's a great conversation. We talk about hunting, fishing, and fatherhood, how to raise our sons in this world and teach them those skills. I think it's a really great conversation on how we find that balance between pushing them too hard and not hard enough. I don't know, Dom. I think you learned a little bit about this parenting stuff.
About parenting with my children I don't have?
Yeah. I don't know.
I would do it different, but,
Anyway, hope you guys enjoy the podcast with Steven, and we'll get into it.
They lost the tools, they lost the way. Now they're calling for help every damn day. While some still sharpen steel and mind, step out of the flock. This is Finding HAViK.
Well, so today we have Steven. Thank you for coming on and hanging out with us.
Yeah.
I'm super excited for this. Our boys are best friends, and that's kind of how we gotten to know each other. But you also, I think, have a ton of stuff in the background that is why me and you have already kind of clicked a little bit. Why you're going to click with Mel too.
Yep.
And so I guess, first of all, just kind of introduce yourself. Like, what do you do for work?
So I'm Steven. You know that. Met you guys before. I am a firefighter paramedic. So I work for East Fork Fire down in Douglas County, Nevada. I'm in the Gardnerville area. I've been there. I'm in my 8th year right now. So I'll hit 8 years in September. Born and raised here in Northern Nevada. I have a wife, 2 kids. Kind of like you talked about, the boys are best friends. They go to the same school. And I enjoy everything outdoors, hunting, fishing, any of that, archery, shooting guns, working out, do a lot of that, and then just anything with the family. So stay pretty active.
It's funny. So when my boy had your boy come over, have like a little hangout session and stuff, and I went and picked him up, and we were driving back, and he's just telling me all these stories, right? Oh yeah, my dad and I were out coyote hunting for this, and I was just like, man. And I think when I picked him up, you were shooting your bow, getting ready to go on an elk trip.
Yeah, that was before our Idaho elk hunt.
And I was like,
this backyard.
Not that I have enough time for like another person around in my
Maybe we
life.
should be friends.
But I was like,
did we just become best friends?
Yeah.
I was
one of those moments.
But I was driving by myself, so I couldn't really say it. Been a weirdo, I guess, if I said it.
Yeah, I would have caught on.
But you're like, something was in the air.
Yeah.
It was like, oh yeah, we like clicked, and then when you came and picked him up, we got to like talk a little bit more, and super exciting. I'm really interested. So you grew up in Northern Nevada, out in Lovelock though, right?
Yep.
So not Reno born, which is a little bit new.
I was born in Reno, and then,
you were Reno born?
Yeah. It was St. Mary's baby.
Right, it's probably the closest hospital.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's we had nothing else.
I know.
I mean, I was a Reno baby, but I didn't grow up in Reno.
Yeah, and then grew up in Lovelock, graduated from there.
How many people were in your graduating class?
3?
Yeah.
42,
That's
43.
more than I would expect.
I think, yeah.
Really? I thought Lovelock's kind of big.
No.
No, it's just spread out is the problem, right? Yeah. There's a lot of land with all the ranches and stuff.
It's mainly you're either a farmer ranching, or you're a miner. Or there's the prison there too.
Yes.
Yeah, where OJ was at for the longest time. That's how everyone
There's
knows.
been a handful of guys.
Everyone's like, OJ was there. I'm like,
but you weren't supposed to know he was there, because I knew a correctional officer that was there. And I was like, how's OJ? Is he like a good inmate? He goes, you're not supposed to know he's there. I'm like, everybody knows he's there.
When they released him, it was such a big deal in the town. He had like a parole hearing or something, right? And the town was just filled with like,
oh yeah, looky loose,
ABC, like all these big, right? I mean, it's OJ. So like all these huge news outlets showed up to the town, which was something crazy for us. We're like, what's going on here? You know what I mean? And then when they released him, this was something they didn't want anyone else to know either, was they released him in the middle of the night, never said a date, time, like literally just grabbed him and like, your ride's here, go. Because they didn't want all the press. They didn't want all that stuff. So it was like 1 a.m. on a random day and just kicked him out the front door. That's what I've been told.
Yeah, there's like all those like news anchors and stuff are probably like Lovelock, Nevada. Like, where in the hell is that?
That's what no one knows where it's at unless they say.
I think the guy that
went there,
that Wolf on Wall Street movie, wasn't he also sent to Lovelock?
Yeah, could have been. I don't know.
I don't know either. Yeah, the only thing I know about Lovelock is I used to race there.
That's right. You did the modified cars, right?
Yeah, it's my least favorite track.
Why?
You wrecked there, didn't you?
It was just always super dusty. I actually raced last year, and it was exactly like it's always been. And I was.
Didn't you wreck? Like, didn't you have a pretty?
I had a really bad wreck. Yeah, there.
That's what I remember you telling me about that.
Yeah, it was more probably emotional than physical. I mean, it was a really bad wreck. I had to reclip the front of the car, but I was like leading this little like championship series.
I remember you were like actually winning, right? You were doing
I was
good.
like winning. And I was out front leading the race, and a guy had spun, and I didn't see him. It was so dusty, and I hit him right in the driver's door, and it was really bad for him. Like, pretty much totaled my car. We had to go reclip it. I drove somebody else's car the rest of the night and stuff, and then going into the next weekend, I had to go take it off so we could fix our car. So it was like emotional. Anyway, Lovelock.
Yeah. So
for the most part, it was like I just drove through there either on my way to hunting something or going to the.
That's
there's
how
some
everyone
really
usually
neat
knows
country
it.
out there.
Yeah. There's a lot of good trucker hunting, and I mean, we should go hunting. Yeah, we do.
I went trucker hunting twice last week.
Did you?
I almost invited you, Mel. I'm sorry. Next time.
Probably had time. Although we did have some snow, so I was skiing.
Yeah, I should have brought you because we could have brought more trucker home because I was shooting like shit.
Were you getting into them though?
Oh yeah.
You were?
Yeah. Oh yeah. If I could shoot, I would have limited out both times that I went out, but I got 2 each time.
Yeah. So you started heading out into the desert probably at a pretty young age.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We used to. I don't know if kids would still be able to get away with it now, but we used to like drive through the valley with our shotguns laying across our lap on the 4-wheeler. No helmet, no gun case, like shells in the magazine. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you'd be taken from
cruising through the valley.
Probably.
Going to shoot ducks or quail. Now, if someone saw that, they'd probably think,
any turkeys or.
Oh yeah, there's a bunch of turkeys around there. So we'd go. Yeah, but that's when you could take. I say like it's that long ago. I graduated in 2011, so it's not like that long ago comparatively, but it still was a while ago. But like you used to be able to take your shotgun to school, or at least I did.
Yeah,
and you know what I mean? Because you'd throw it in your backseat and you'd go shoot ducks after.
We got in trouble
or shoot quail or whatever. You know what I mean?
So
but like everyone knew.
We did the same thing, and so they were in the rack in the back.
Yeah,
and what I ended up getting caught by the principal because I had shotgun shells on my dash. So I got called into the principal's office one time, and they were like, "Hey, do you have a gun in your car?" I'm like, "Yeah,
of course I do."
Yeah,
everyone does.
Everybody does. And they were like, "You can't have it on school property." And I was like, "All right, yeah, it's fine." So there was a church parking lot that was literally the other side of the fence. I was like nosed up against the fence. On the other side was a church parking lot. So I like backed up and drove around, and I parked
in the church parking lot
5 feet from where I was parked, but on the other side of the fence. It was on school property.
And how many kids were in your graduating class? You had like
I had 24.
Yeah, he even beat me. Yeah, that's
I think it was something like that, 24, 28. Yeah. I've been 28. Yeah, so we had to move. Well, they made an announcement. Essentially, we're like, hey, anybody has a firearm in your car, you got to move the cars. It was like half
empty parking lot.
The church parking lot was full. It was hilarious. Yeah. And then it was like we came to school every single day. Every car that was in the church parking lot, you just knew there was guns in those cars.
Yeah.
And then we'd hunt coyotes on the way home, or ducks and geese and all sorts of different things.
William's been bugging me. I was gonna text you. He's been wanting to come out here and shoot coyotes.
Yeah.
The last couple of weeks, and we usually go. Our thing for the last couple of years has been we go on New Year's Day. And this year it was just so rainy and wet. I'm like, dude, we're gonna get stuck, and then we're gonna be calling you or someone else to come pull us out because I don't have a winch on my truck right now. So I'm like, we're gonna end up getting stuck somewhere instead of actually hunting coyotes. I'm like, let's just wait for it to dry out. Hopefully, we actually get some snow, and then we'll go. So I'm praying, fingers crossed, next few weeks. Hopefully, we'll get some weather.
Yeah, it was super mucky up on the top. Yeah, I was pushing snow with the side by side.
I'm sure.
And then finally we were just like, okay, we're walking. And then, but on the way back, it was all just watery and mucky and stuff up there.
It's always when you go to turn around.
Yeah.
That's when you have a problem.
It was actually, it was pretty close to what our issue was.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you brought up something, though, to me is actually what I really wanted to talk about on this, is that you have a son and a daughter.
Yep.
And you're talking about how it was when you're a kid, but you can't do that anymore. Yep. And I'm struggling just as a father of a son as well. How do you pass that on to the next generation? Like, what is the thing that we should be doing to instill those values, but not have them in jail now? Because a lot of the stuff
they take a gun to school to go hunting.
Yeah. Because it's true, you know, like we went out. So Nico came chucker hunting with me on Saturday when we went out, and I brought his 22. So like after we got done, set up some targets and stuff and just had him shooting. We were talking about gun safety, and I need to get him into hunter safety. I don't know.
Liam hasn't done it either yet. Okay. So maybe that's something we should look into.
We should do it together. Yeah. But it's all on. Is it online now?
It, right?
Oh yeah. I actually don't know if they moved it all online. I think there's still an in-classroom portion.
I think you do the prereqs, or you do some sort of like you have to do the packet or the book online.
Yeah, you have to show up with the completed book.
Yes, and then I think you could do the class portion, which is like a few hours or something.
Yeah,
right?
It's not
4
too
or 5
bad.
hours, and then they leave with their shirt that day.
They make you cross a fence, you know.
Yeah, pass the gun.
Yeah,
cross the fence.
Yeah, and some ID, animal ID, good shot, bad shot, right? The
barn
gun safety, know your target,
shot,
what's in front of it, what's behind it.
Yeah. Ex game warden.
I remember we talked about that.
Yeah, I struggle with it on like how do you get that instilled into them without, because it was like a lot of redneck ways for me growing up.
100%.
It was once we got old enough and we had enough gun safety, like what we used to do a lot is my parents had just wood stove. That was the only form of heating. So in the late fall or whatever, once it started getting enough rain, we'd go up and we'd cut wood. But at the very beginning, my brother and I were too little to like pick up any wood. So we'd go up and we would just run off in the woods with 22s and just go hunting anything we could find while my parents cut wood. And then once we got old enough, then that died off because we were physically able to go load up the truck.
Isn't that wild though? Like when you're, because Haley and I talk about that all the time. We used to just, like you said, we'd literally just leave with guns with our friends and just be like, no one ever got shot. But I'm like, I would never let my kids just leave the house with a gun and just be like, have fun.
But I think it's because they're not starting off the same way that we did. Because if they were slightly more like redneck children, like the way we were when we were growing up, we'd be more comfortable with it.
For sure.
Well, and it's one thing to send your kid off that you know what you've taught them and what they know and understand.
The
then you're sending them off with somebody else and you have no clue what
they've been taught,
if they've been taught. Yeah, absolutely.
And I think so I was the same way. Like one of my best friends, we'd go over there and it was second I'd get there, the first thing we were doing was BB guns or pellet guns, and we were out in the field.
Dude, so many Tweety birds killed.
Yeah.
Those poor things with BB guns.
Totally. But I think, as sad as that is, it's also one of those things like that's why I cherish 100%. Life now more. That's why I hunt the way I do.
Back now, I'm like, oh, that's so mean.
I couldn't do it now.
No, me neither.
I think there's a part of it you got to get it out of your system.
Get out the rage for a little bit.
Yeah. I think about it literally like every day though.
Yeah, for sure. Because you don't want your kids to grow up to be, I don't know, incapable, right? You don't want them to grow up and not know that side of things. We kind of talked about that elk hunt. You saw me shoot my bow getting ready. I had that Idaho elk hunt earlier in September. And we were riding in on horses. We rode, it was like 10.5 miles. We rode in on horses. And just like the views and the peace that was, you know what I mean? While you're riding in on those horses, you're like 99% of the world's population will never experience this right here,
or being that present,
and just being that present. Because you have no service. You're literally there with your bow on your back, your horse, and your buddies that you're going in with, and that's it. And you're like, man. And most people won't ever get to experience that. So you're like, you want your kid to be able to experience that, and you want them to know where their food comes from, and that your meat doesn't come from the grocery store, right?
Yeah.
No matter what everyone thinks or says, and that they're capable of going to do that.
Yeah.
So I think, like you were saying, I think you just have to be present with them, and you have to take them, and you have to do it because they're going to follow what you do, right?
Absolutely.
And that's with anything, whether it's hunting, providing for your family, a hard work ethic, working out. Right, you could see the families in the stores or in Costco, or like you go in, And it's not to be mean or anything, but like you see the obese parents, and then you see the kids replicate it. You know what I mean? Or you see they
don't know any different.
No, they just don't know any different.
Yeah.
And so there's a big responsibility for parents you have to emulate what you want your kids to be. And like I saw this meme the other day, and it was like, if your kid grew up to be exactly who you are right now, would you be proud of it? You know what I mean?
Sure. Oh,
And
I like
so,
that a lot.
yeah. And so there's like, and it's like tough because you're like, I should be better. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not the perfect dad. I'm not the perfect husband. I'm not, I could always be better. But you're like, I'm doing all right. But you still want your kids to be better than you.
Oh, yeah.
And so, yeah. So you're always trying to just raise them up the right way. And like Liam, like I said, he's been bugging me to go coyote hunting. So I'm like, if you're bugging me to go do that and not bugging me to, I don't know, sit on your iPad all day, like, that's pretty good. You know what I mean? We always joke about like
that's one of those small wins.
Yeah, 100%.
Right?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. We've talked about that before, like iPad kids. You know what I mean? Because they can't go out in public without something in their face, and adults are just as bad about it.
I was in a
I mean,
coffee
I find
shop.
myself sometimes. You know what I mean? Like you sit down and you're like, just start scrolling. You're like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, put it away. Just put it away.
I
Yeah,
was
just
in
just brain
coffee
rot.
shop
I think is what they're calling it.
and this kid was on like watching YouTube on a
Mhm.
phone, but no headphones, super loud, and the whole group of adults is just sitting around having their conversation. And I'm 3 tables away, loud, packed coffee shop, and I can hear it.
It's bugging you.
Yeah,
Well, that's also like
Wild.
inconsiderate.
Yeah.
That's the
Oh, yeah.
opposite of being present in that moment that you were just talking about.
Right.
Is that they're not aware of anybody else or anything else in the world. Like there's nothing else. They're just zombies in that moment. And it's scary to me sometimes. And I'm guilty of it for sure. Like there's times where you like sit
It's
down
so
and
easy
Yep.
just to.
all of a sudden you're mindlessly, you don't
Yeah.
even, oh shit, dude, it's been 25 minutes
Yeah.
or 30 minutes and
Yeah.
it's blown through. But, I think that hunting, being outside, resets me on that.
Dude, it's the best thing ever. Like that week we were in Idaho, we had no service.
yeah.
You're 10 and a half, almost 11 miles back there.
Yeah.
We were in the Limhi mountain range.
I don't know if I can name the study, but they've done studies, and it takes 3 days of being unplugged to start rewiring your brain.
Exactly. Like
With-
you feel so good coming home. You're like, oh my gosh. Like we had Starlink at night because we did pack a Starlink up there because one of the guys' wives was pregnant. And
Wait, okay, so finish
Oh,
your
yeah.
story, and then
And
I
then
want to
tell
hear.
that story.
I want to hear
I
about
was
that
gonna
story.
say you got to hear that story. So we took a Starlink, right? So that we had service to civilization at least every night, so we could kind of know
check
what's
in,
going on.
see if she's okay.
But yeah, just that not being able to get on Instagram, Facebook. It's so nice. So you have to disconnect. You have to take the time to disconnect because you just feel we were camping in wall tents in this giant meadow with the creek running through, and you're like, it doesn't like it, this is real life. Your phone's not like scrolling Instagram, and that's one thing that I think is so bad for kids to see now, and why my kids are gonna probably hate me because I'm not gonna let them have social media forever. You know what I mean? It's because like you only getting the highlight reels on there. You're not getting everyday life. But when you're just, like you said, when you're hunting, you're like, this is real life. This is real. Be here right now.
I think there's like instant gratification too from all of that, where you get to like see the exact
That
thing that you
dopamine
wanted,
dump,
the
yeah.
dopamine,
hit.
just over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And it's just so unhealthy.
Oh,
and
yeah.
It disconnects you from reality, right? And then you start getting down on yourself because
I'm not there. I don't have that. I'm not that far in my career. I
When a
don't
lot
have
of
this truck. I'm not this guy. I don't have this house. I don't. Yeah.
I was at a talk, and someone called it toxic positivity, where
Oh, that's
all
a good
you're
way to put
showing
it.
is this highlight reel of your life, and people think that is every day of your life, and it's gotten so ingrained in that social media, what we see all the time, where it really is toxic.
Oh,
right?
100%.
Yeah.
Because again, it's not real life.
Yeah.
You could turn on that dopamine hit on and off with the click of a button. You
And
know
so
what I mean?
going back to that 3-day detox thing, there's a lot of times I'll come back from hunting and I haven't been on my phone or
You don't
been
want
able,
to be. Yeah.
and you don't even think about it.
No.
You're driving
No,
home.
it's nice.
Like I'll drive sometimes like halfway home and I forget to put on music
right.
Yeah.
or something, right? It's just I'm driving, it's just quiet. It's been quiet for 7 days.
Been peaceful.
It's so nice, right?
I was on a trip last year where we were told there would be no cell service. I'm like, all right, cool, great. And I turned off my service when I just left it on airplane mode when I got there. And everyone else went, we have service. And it was like I don't.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not even gonna look. Like,
I don't want it.
not me. You might. I don't.
Yeah.
I just didn't even want to go there.
So with that though, like that's what's hard about this, like our kids' generation kind of coming up, is that is the normal. Like we grew up before, like when we were their age, there was no service anywhere in the whole world because it didn't exist yet. So we, I think, have that balance of being like kind of excited. Like, oh, it's like when the power goes out. I love when the power goes out. You're like, hell yeah, like let's light some candles. Like this is
We're
great.
hanging out. Build a tent.
Yeah.
You're hanging out in the living room.
It's when I don't have service, it's almost like that same kind of like excited feeling. I'm like, okay, I'm removed from society enough that there's not service, which is great. And then two, you're just like, you get that detox period.
Yep.
I think it's tough too. My nephews race motocross. And so they're trying to gain sponsorships and that sort of thing. One of them is super serious. He wakes up every morning. He does yoga, right? Works out, and he's 14. So he's really
So
serious
great.
about it. But at the same time, he has to utilize social media to be fulfilling contracts with his sponsors.
Oh, for sure.
sponsorships
There's
with
a
the
time
race
and
team,
place.
that
It's
sort of thing.
Yeah, it's a great thing if used appropriately.
Right.
For
But
sure.
watching,
I didn't have Instagram
them,
until I had to get it for the company.
right.
Really?
But yeah, watching them navigate that,
Yeah.
right? So that it is used in this beneficial way, and
Positive,
understanding
yeah.
the difference between what's beneficial
Yeah.
and what could be detrimental to.
Setting boundaries
Yeah.
to it. Yeah.
Yeah, it seems
That's
like,
one thing I've been trying to teach the kids is like there's a time and place, and then you have to have boundaries for certain things like that. Because there's a ton of good information on there. Like I said, like talk about being a firefighter, paramedic. Like there's a ton of, you could get on some super solid pages with good firemen, good leaders, talking about leadership stuff, just tactics, paramedicine stuff.
Yeah, don't put
things
water
to
on
look
grease
at.
fire.
Yeah, exactly.
you know?
Right. Yeah, there's like you're like, man, this is great. I've never thought of this. Perfect. And it works great for stuff like that. The hunting stuff. I mean, now you could almost, someone who has no idea what to do could almost just off of Instagram or Facebook or TikTok or whatever, find almost all the resources they need.
Yeah.
To like, all right, cool. I could at least get a foundation and get started in this, which is great. Homesteading, bacon. I mean, you know how many, there's a loaf of sourdough sitting over there. I don't know. They probably
No,
can't
I
see
literally
it on the
made it
podcast.
off of an Instagram
Yeah,
recipe.
see?
I brought
That's
it
what
to share.
That's what
with
I mean.
you
That's
guys.
why I'm like,
I saw it on
yeah,
Instagram
now
and I made it.
I want to start making sourdough because there's like so much, so many resources online. I'm like, you could do it yourself. You don't even need to teach
exactly what I did.
you. So yeah, time and place, right?
Yeah,
Boundaries.
My neighbor gave us a loaf of sourdough, but I went over and picked it up, and she was like showing me her starter, or she's like, "I can give you some." I'm like, I want to do it. But I'm like, I don't know.
It's a commitment.
I know.
It's
I was like, I got so much
I
shit.
haven't fed mine since October, and it's fine.
No, I thought you had to feed it like every day.
No, that's so if you're starting your own starter, it's super intense where you have to feed it every day and do a whole bunch of stuff. And I might get roasted for like telling you the wrong thing, but it doesn't have to be that
the
difficult.
internet again.
Right?
There it is.
Yeah.
All the
It
haters
doesn't have
are
to
going
be
to come
that
out.
difficult. And I know a lot of people who've been doing, I haven't been doing that long, but people who have done it forever, and they go, actually, the more simple you make it, the better it is.
So on the next episode, we're going to make sourdough right here.
Oh, so
Well, it
We're
takes a
doing a
really
sourdough
long time,
episode.
so we're gonna.
Well, that's going to be one of the 4-hour
It's a couple days
podcasts. Then.
worth
Oh,
of
days?
I shit you not, Steven. So a good friend of mine, she actually has like a whole Instagram channel around making bread that I haven't reached out to her. So if she listens to this, I'm going to be reaching out to you
Yep.
if I haven't already. But I wanted to do exactly that, where the podcast is us sitting there. Don will have to figure it out. Making bread or talking about bread. And
I don't
like
have to
doing
be on the podcast, but just let me come because Dom and I'll be sitting back there taking notes.
You can be the other host. So we'll do it together.
I will put on my apron and you teach me how to make some
Or to
sourdough.
Martha Stewart it, right?
Yeah.
And be like,
Oh,
now this
yeah.
has been proofing for 12 hours. Now this has been proofing for another 12 hours.
I was thinking that for me, it was one of those, because she teaches like bread classes.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, maybe she'll do like a bread class with
Yeah,
us
that'd be great.
as we do the podcast.
Yeah.
And we could just like be talking about stuff as she's teaching us.
Yeah, sourdough.
How
Sourdough.
social
Should do
media
it.
can be a
Yeah.
good thing and a place where you
Yeah.
can
Teach
learn
you how
a
to-
lot.
I'll teach you how to make sourdough.
You can learn a lot off of social media.
Yeah.
You gotta
you gotta have
look for
boundaries,
it.
man. You gotta try to instill that in your kids, and it's gonna be tough because everything they do now is on an iPad or a phone. Like we used to come home with paper homework, or do your math problems. Like everything now is like,
Yeah, you have
I
to.
mean,
have it.
like their homework every week is on the, like you have to have an iPad.
Yeah.
Or an iPhone.
They had paper over winter break, though.
No, they didn't.
And
I was surprised. I know. I was like, get out your scratch paper. We're working these math problems out. I know how to do this.
It bums me out that there's no snow days anymore.
No.
Because they just work remotely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you gotta get up, go outside, build a jump for your sled or whatever.
Totally. Yeah.
Oh, I still make
in high school, we were jumping off the roof. But
if we get legit snow, I'm out there with the kids. Like we're making a snowman.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
I hook them up to the truck. I'm like towing them around the neighborhood.
A little hooky
in the
bobbing.
cul-de-sac. Yeah. Towing around on the sled.
We made an igloo at Christmas at my parents' house because they had enough snow. Mm-hmm. So we were out there. Everybody else was like warm inside. And we made an igloo out there.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
We also used to have, where I went to school, we had snow survival and desert survival, and we learned how to start a fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And build a snow shelter and get water in the desert and that sort of thing. And I think it's just really hard to find that.
I think so. Yeah. I mean, I guess just wrap it back to it is I think that there's stuff that is out there. So there's like, in Nevada, Battleborn Hunters Association. They're really big about giving back and getting kids involved in the outdoors. But I think that they're a little bit more involved with the kids that are already either very much outdoors or not at all.
Right.
Not the in between. Yeah. And that's where like I find myself with my son is Nico's kind of in between. He's not necessarily asking to do it. I think it's early. That's why he's not doing it. But if I ask him to go trucker hunting with me, it's like, I'm in.
Yeah.
And he's a hiking son of a bitch, dude. Yeah. Like that kid can go anywhere.
Well, when you weigh,
we took
like
him
80 pounds.
I know.
But I put
all way bad. I'm like, dude.
I put stuff on him though, because I want him used to like having something on his back. And so like he had his own water on his back and food on his back, and he had his bino harness.
Good.
And so like we were trucking. And I had like a small win on that trip where he like stopped and he's like, I just want to look at this view for a minute. Like sat down next to him. Like, yep.
That's one thing Lane's been doing is there's been a few times he's like, wherever we're at, he'll be like, it's just so beautiful. I'm like,
yeah,
you're right. Good job, dude. Like slow down a little bit. It doesn't always have to be go, go, go. Like slow down and enjoy it.
I wonder if like our parents had the same kind of like conversations or like tackling the same problem in their head of being like, I want my kid to be more outdoors or more something. And yet here we are.
Because like you said, because it was like such the thing then. You know what I mean? Like everyone did it. So maybe it wasn't, maybe not everyone did it, but you know what I mean? Like the smaller towns that like we're from, like the majority of people did it. So maybe it wasn't quite the thought in their head. Like it is ours. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like we were like on that week, we had video games.
Yeah.
And I didn't play too much. But then I talked to my parents and they were like, you played a decent amount. And I'm like, I wonder how much. Because in my head, I was never on that thing.
Right. That's how I am.
But maybe maybe I wasn't as much as I thought I was when I was a kid. I just like to think that way now.
Yeah, it's also those core memories, right? You're not thinking of the video games you won.
Yeah.
The stages you beat. Yeah, but when you were outside with your buddies, remembering, I guarantee you remember your first year, if not every year. You could probably tell me
every step
year.
Of that day.
Yes.
Yeah,
I remember missing my first year and then like clean miss. And then the next year I got it my first year. I could tell you, I could take you, I could drop a point.
Yep.
Right. Yeah.
We didn't have OnX back then, but I could drop a point on both of those locations.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Exactly where they're at.
And that's probably what it is, right? Mm-hmm. Like, did that matter in that time? Maybe while you were playing the game, but not now. Like, again, it's just those memories that are locked in.
The type 2 fun, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's all. The video games, all that stuff's type 1. Roller coasters, they're great.
Yeah.
But you don't remember that stuff.
No.
I have some pretty fond memories
of being on the roller coaster or being at the park with your friends.
Being on the roller coaster. Yeah. Being on it.
I don't remember.
You just did Disney, right? Yeah. Dom just did Disney.
Same. Yeah.
I don't remember a single roller coaster being on it. I can remember, like in high school, I went with a bunch of buddies to Disneyland, and I don't remember any of the roller coasters. I do remember that we were on Tower of Terror, and there was nobody there because it was raining, and we were doing loops on it, just lapping it.
So fun.
And I don't remember the ride. I remember lapping the ride, and that was like with the buddies, and we're laughing because we're just going right back on, and we're trying to see who's going.
You can pick your feet up, and you come all the way off your seat. Yeah. I remember, so my dad had me wear my cowboy boots, so I was tall enough, because I just wasn't tall enough to go on all the roller coasters. Yeah. So we we went down and I wore my cowboy boots so I could get on all the roller coasters.
42 inches or whatever.
That's right. Yeah. And so, and I remember fun, but you're right. Type 2 fun is something that, I don't know what it is, but it beats the memory into your brain.
Oh yeah. But yeah. I was texting one of my childhood buddies the other day. One thing we used to do is hunt geese in the valley, and I remember just freezing, miserably freezing cold, frost all over the ground. But man, you see those geese coming in off the sink, and they're flying into you. You know what I mean? Like, so the best memories ever. Best memories.
Exact same memories growing up. It was my dad, my brother, and I in a blind out in the middle of the field, just freezing. And to this day, I can't eat a Snickers bar not frozen.
You told me about that because everything was frozen.
If I'm gonna have a Snickers bar, it goes in the freezer, and then I like gnaw on it and stuff because that's how we like ate them, because that was our snack.
That was
in
our
the morning.
ski snack. So frozen Snickers,
so much better. And so I do want to go back, and I want you to tell us what happened on that elk hunt, because I think it's a really good story. So you have, again, you have Starlink because your buddy's wife's pregnant.
So last year, it's 2026. So September of 25, it was the last week of September. We went archery bull hunting in Idaho. We went to the Limhi unit. Me and 3 other guys, buddies from work, good friends, hang out outside of work. Had this trip planned and everything, so it was kind of a guided DIY hunt. And I know those kind of contradict each other, but pretty much what you do is you hire this,
like a drop camp.
Yeah, it is a drop camp.
Pack you in.
Yeah. So for those who don't know, is right. You get packed in. Pretty much all the logistics get figured out for you. You get packed in. They provide the horses. They pack in all your bow and your pack and all your stuff. They have camp set up for you. And then they leave,
and they're at peace.
And
see you in a week.
They pretty much hand you your tag and your license, and they're like, is this you? Cool. If you kill something, this is how you do it. Here's your camp. Here's your food. They gave us, a week's worth of peak meals each, and they're like, see ya.
Love it.
And they leave. And so they don't guide. I mean, they kind of tell you, like, hey, we've seen elk up here. We've seen elk, over here, whatever. And then they bounce. So you're like, okay. So you're on your own.
And it's essentially a way to get further back.
Way back. Like I said, we were like almost 11 miles back. And it's all public land, but it's still just a way. Most people aren't going to pack in for a week with all their gear unless they have the means, pack horses or mules or whatever with all the.
We did a fair amount.
Yeah, to get that far back. Because it's just so much work. Like the logistics to figure that out it's heavy duty.
And it's unethical to do it any further if you don't have those resources like an animal.
Yeah, because if you kill something,
you can't get it out.
Right. Yeah. Just getting it out is, now you're
3 to 4 miles is the limit.
Yeah, you're threatening, losing the meat and the meat spoiling. I mean, it's just, you have to be smart.
Plus, depending on the terrain.
Plus, if you get hurt or anything, just getting out, it's just, it could just be bad all around. So we go in, we're hunting, we're getting into the elk. Ultimately, we don't end up killing anything. It's super tough. Apparently, hunting in the timber is a lot different than hunting in Nevada, where there's not as much timber. The most that we see around here is like some PJs that are around. There, it's heavy. You know what I mean? So
and it's if they're not talking. And
stuff, and it was the last week in September, so they were still bugling, but they already had all their cows with them, so they were not pulling off their cows to come to any calls. They would respond if you hit a cow call or like a challenge bugle, they would hit you back.
They were like, I got enough.
But they're like, they're not pulling off those cows because they're, you know what I mean? They're
not going to risk it.
Of it. Yeah. And so, super fun hunt. We're doing our thing again, disconnected from everyone. It was awesome. Check in real quick, 10 minutes at night on the Starlink. So one of the guys we went with, his wife's pregnant when we go. She's 8 months pregnant. So she's literally a couple weeks away from her due date, about a month. And it's his first child, and we're like teasing him, We're like, I don't know, man. If something happens, like, what's your plan? Because we had to drive 11 hours to get there, and then packed in. I'm like, dude, this isn't just like jump in the rig and make it to the hospital real quick. And he's like, it'll be fine. She's like a month away. So it was 2 nights. Yeah, it was 2 nights before we were supposed to be picked up. We're sitting around the fire, and we're like teasing him. We're like, how's she feeling? He's like, she's having Braxton Hicks contractions, this and that, but she's doing good. And we're like, I don't know. Like Liam, for us, he came a month early. One of the other guys is like, yeah, my son came 5 weeks early. And We're like joking
you guys
about
are
it.
Sitting there every
We're just
night, freaking him
just
out.
poking the bear, you know. And he's like, "Shut up! It's like we're good. We're gonna get picked up in a day. Like we know we're good, you know." So we're like, "All right, whatever." So we go to bed. Next morning rolls around. We're hanging out. One of the guys, he's up. He kind of had a lead on a bull that he was chasing after. I was actually hanging out in the shade reading a book again, just relaxing. You know what I mean? And we knew we were getting picked up the next day, so it wasn't no big deal. Well, all of a sudden the radios start going off because we had handheld radios, and the guy who was up on the hill got a message from his wife that she's in labor. And so my buddy Clint, whose wife is now in labor, he comes walking back from the creek. He just, went and rinsed off. So he's feeling good. Nice cold creek water. Come back, change of clothes, And he comes walking in, and we're like, "Hey, Nicole's in labor. She's at the hospital. She's 5 centimeters."
And he's just like,
dilated.
yeah, whatever. Dude.
No, his face just dropped. He's just
so he believed you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. He's just like, I remember I looked at it, and he pulled out his phone, and he was staring at his phone, and he just puts his hand on his forehead, and he's just like, just staring at it. And I'm like
something's going to happen.
Yeah, I'm like, it's not good. There's no service, dude. So he's like, I got to go. And that's all he says. So him and I are sharing a tent. So he goes in there, and he just starts shoving everything into his bag. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, time out, dude. Hold on. I'm like, we have a storm coming in. We've been watching this storm build for 2 or 3 days at this point. We're like, we know it's supposed to hit this afternoon. This is like 12:30 in the afternoon. We're like, it's supposed to hit this afternoon. We're hours from anyone. Like we got packed in on horses. Like we're going to have to take all, I'm like, just hold on for a minute. So I get a hold of the guide. She's like, pretty much tough luck.
Yeah.
Which I get. Cause she's like,
we can't come get you.
Yeah. She's like, I literally have other clients on their horses.
Scheduled.
I'm packing them in, right? Like we are leaving. Too bad, which I get because she's still running her business. She can't tell them, oh, get off. I got to go do this. So him and I loaded up our gear and started walking. And so we ended up walking out almost 11 miles back to the trucks.
And then an 11-hour drive.
And we ended up making it. He made it in time.
Crazy.
He ended up making it in time.
That to me, that's a story that you'll tell forever.
I was trying to make light of it as we were walking out. I'm like, dude, it's gonna be fun. It'll be fine.
In the moment,
in a year, but think about his first birthday. We're gonna be laughing about remember what we were doing a year ago? We were hiking out. We were miserable.
You're gonna be on another hunt.
Yeah, we're out hunting. It's raining on us at this point. We're drenched. Our legs are smoked. We have 60, 70 pounds of gear on us. We're 11 miles back. And it's not just you're not just cruising down this, you know what I mean? It was a pretty decent trail just from the horses going in and out for so long. But it's still elevation gain, loss. You're still, it's not ideal. You know what I mean? And so I'm trying to make light of it. And he was like, not yet. Too soon.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, we'll wait till we get there.
I still can't believe you got there.
Actually with quite a bit of time to spare, luckily.
So she was actively in labor at the hospital when you guys left? Yeah. It's a long time to be in labor, no?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I've heard, don't know from experience, allegedly.
Yeah, hypothetically.
Your first
Let's hear from the woman in the group.
You're typically, your first one it happens often where it takes a long time. I feel I've heard that.
We're good. We got time.
I've heard that so many times where the first one takes a lot longer.
Yeah.
And then by the second or third, your body's like, we're good.
Now we laugh about it. Because now we're driving home, right? And of course, we run into the worst rainstorm I think I've ever been in my life. Windshield wipers going 10,000 miles an hour.
Still can't see.
So, or, you're just staring out the windshield. You're like, oh my gosh, I can't see anything. Semi trucks just dousing the truck. I remember I looked at him at one point and I'm like, you at least got good tires on this, right? And he's like, nope. I'm like, all right, cool. I was like, well, if we got to get there in one piece or else it's not going to matter. So take it easy.
Episode of the Finding HAViK podcast is supported by our friends at Precision Resilience. Now, if you're serious about becoming more capable, more confident, and more resilient, their training programs are the real deal. Precision Resilience offers firearms training, defensive tactics, situational awareness courses, and a full line of apparel built for the people who don't want to talk about preparedness, they want to live it. Now head over to precision-resilience.com and use the code HAViK15 at checkout for 15% off of training and merchandise. That's HAViK15 for 15% off. Now go and invest in yourself. So to me, though, it's one of those things that talking about like you're hunting, right? In hunting geese, freezing your ass off.
Yeah.
And then now all of a sudden having to pack 10, 11 miles out and then drive 11 hours overnight.
Yep.
These are all things, though, that take you being okay with being uncomfortable.
You have to be.
And I think that, to me, is like that core value with respect to being outside and hunting and fishing, or just knowing the things that we know from screwing around. You know, Mel riding her horse into the middle of nowhere when she's 11 years old by herself. Like those things. Yeah, this chick's crazy. Those things right there are the values that I'm trying to teach Nico. And that's why I'm worried that I'm not doing a good enough job of teaching him those things.
Yeah.
Because I want him in the day that he needs to be a little bit harder.
To be able to do it. Be capable.
Okay with being uncomfortable. Like, go out there and be uncomfortable.
Yep.
And it's okay. Like, it won't be forever.
Yeah.
Just put your head down and
temporary.
just get yourself out of that situation.
I think a lot of it is experience, is putting them in the situations that aren't necessarily dangerous, but they're uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Right?
Like a control.
Yeah, they're gonna be fine.
Control.
They're gonna make it. They might be miserable for a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
But
It
you'll
also-
be fine.
Yeah.
I think just building adaptability, right? Being able to change your plans
Yeah.
and not have an issue with it, or having a backup plan going in when you
Don't.
know.
Well, there's a saying that we say at work in the fire service. Don't plan A harder. Like if
Yes.
plan A fails, don't just do that harder and be like, no, we're gonna do
Right.
it this way. It's like, no, stop, take your tactical pause, figure it out, and go to plan B, and that's okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, don't just plan A harder. You
Yeah,
know what I mean? So that's a perfect way.
I know a lot of people who do that.
Yeah, right. And everyone knows those guys that you're like, this isn't working. We should do something different.
Yeah.
Or like that, you know, like we had to call an audible and not wait for the horses to come get us. Because had we done that, we wouldn't have made it.
No.
And he wouldn't have been there for the birth of his first child. And then his wife would have been even more unhappy.
You took that pause, though,
You know
for
what I
a
mean?
second, and we're like,
Yep.
hey, here's our situation, right? It's 12:30. There's a storm.
Yep.
Let's try.
Yeah.
Let's
We
try
knew
to
we
get a
had a
hold of her.
couple hours. I'm like, if we get go, I remember I looked down at my phone and I started my watch. It was like 1:05, and we'd already been walking. We were probably 100 yards away from camp. But I remember he just started packing, and I'm like, hold on, time out. Let's figure this out, because you can't just walk off by yourself. So
Yeah.
I'm like, if you walk off, you get caught. And the week before, I don't know if you remember, but there was it 2 kids
In New Mexico.
Yeah, they got hit by lightning.
Struck by
And they
lightning.
were both died. And I think I say kids, but they were like 24,
Yeah.
25 or something.
Yeah.
But I'm like, man,
Too-
like, you
too
can't
young
just
to
leave
die,
by
I feel
yourself.
like,
If you bust an ankle, if you get caught in a storm, like someone has to be with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I'll go with you. Like we're gonna do this. We're
Yeah.
gonna make it. We're gonna make it work. Then we did, and it worked out that time. So
Yeah.
it worked out good. But yeah, I mean, I think you have to put your kids in those uncomfortable situations. And one thing that we kind of talked about before was like, for Liam, at least, it's like jujitsu is one of those things, because
Oh yeah.
You're not
There's-
comfortable. And
no, it sucks. Like
not
when
a
you're
single
getting
moment.
smashed,
No.
it's not enjoyable. You're like,
Yeah.
this sucks. When
Yeah.
some dude is just holding you down and you're sweaty and he's sweating on you and you're not getting away from him, like you're gonna be okay. That's one of those controlled situations or those controlled environments, like you were saying, where you could put him in that spot. And yeah, it's super uncomfortable. For an hour tonight, you're gonna be uncomfortable. Because you're gonna be tired.
They're
gonna be
working
hot.
through things, though,
Yeah,
right?
and you have to work through it. You can't just freak out. You can't just quit.
Or you can't just lay there.
You
right?
can't just lay
That's
there.
not the point
Yeah.
either, right?
And it's a controlled. You're not going to get hurt. Like
Yeah.
you tap out, they'll let go. You're fine. But that's just kind of one of those things where it's almost. And there's times where he's like, I don't want to go. I don't want to do this. And I'm like, perfect. That means we need to go. You know what I mean?
there's gonna be one of those things too where he's gonna be in a situation where he doesn't want to do it and he's uncomfortable, but he's got to do it.
Yep.
So it's good to put yourself in a spot you don't want to be there, you're uncomfortable,
Yep.
and you just like work through it.
Yep.
I know Dalton talked about it with his gymnastics about like you don't quit on your bad day, you quit
Yeah.
on your best day.
You ask yourself if you still want to quit
Yep.
on your
Yeah,
best.
I
Yeah.
remember him talking.
If it's
about
your
that.
best day ever,
Yeah.
right, and you're like, I don't want to do this anymore, then maybe you should have a heart to heart about what you're doing, right? Because if everything's great and you just don't want to do that, then maybe
Maybe you're
should-
just not into
yeah,
it,
you
and that's
should
fine.
pivot.
And that's fine. But
Yeah.
don't quit when you're already down.
Yeah, if you're just having a really shitty day and you're like, I'm done.
Yeah.
It's like, nah.
Yeah, we all have
Is it
those.
just a bad day that caused that,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
is it because you're truly not into it anymore?
Yeah.
Which is fine. I mean, if you come to that point, that's fine. But you have to be able to make those decisions without emotions being involved. Right?
Yeah. Yeah,
And
I think
so-
for me, I'm like waiting for that like golden moment where it just like it seems like clicks. And I don't think it's gonna be that way. you know, just like with like raising a, you know, kid, it's going to be like when he's 21, I'll be like, he might have it in him a little bit more, or like he does it on his own more. And I'll be like, thank God.
Yeah.
But
I'm 37, and last year was the first time my mom was like, "Oh, you're doing pretty good."
Well, I
I'm
think
like,
you're gonna
yeah.
make it. You're almost 40. I think you're gonna do all right. You're like,
So you're like 21. I'm like,
yeah, that's a long ways. That's halfway, maybe.
yeah, you might be right. My parents do like, my mom like checks, are you doing okay? I'm like, Mom, great.
Yeah, like things are going good.
Yeah, and like,
I'm all right.
Yeah,
Things are cruising.
yeah, I get maybe that's like the parenting worry more so than them. But like you said, you want them to be one better than you.
100%.
You want them to have a better life than you had
Yes.
growing up,
Yes.
and also in their adulthood. And so if you're trying to set them up, and the thing that I tell Nico all the time, I'm like, dude, I was like, you have to be self-sustaining. You have to be able to like provide for yourself. Nobody's going to give you anything in this world, and it's going to be uncomfortable sometimes.
Liam's thing lately has been, well, that's not fair. And I'm like, dude,
Ooh.
Yeah.
you got a rude awakening coming if you think
How-
stuff's fair around
how many
here.
times did your parents tell you, "Well, life isn't fair"?
Yeah,
Right?
and you're like, you know what? You're right. That's not. That's been his thing. Well, that's not fair. I'm like, well, join the club, buddy.
Yeah.
Like, it's not gonna get any better. It's actually gonna get worse as you get older.
Dude, adulting, man.
Yeah, and I'm like, that's okay. That's okay. Life's not meant to be fair.
Yeah.
But you work hard for it, it'll come to fruition.
Yeah. I guess it's that perspective thing.
Mhm.
But that also wavers, right? And you have to be able
yeah.
to deal with that. Because like I obviously have been successful in my career and I have a healthy, good family and all this shit. And like sometimes I'm still like down in the dumps.
Oh, and that's
Right.
again, that's easy to do because you see these guys, you know, for me at work, it's like there's guys that are promoting and this and that, and I'm like, oh man, I should be right there with them. And I'm on our promotional list right now and stuff, but it's just, you know, you see other guys, you're like, man, I'm a little bit older than him, or maybe I'm the same age as him. One of the guys that we actually went with, I'm really good friends with him. He's my age and he's a captain, which is great. You know what I mean? But he's also been in the fire service longer than me and stuff. So it's like your time will come. Don't rush what you have right now, because 8 years ago when I was trying to get this job, I would have killed to just be in the position I am now.
Oh,
and then it
absolutely.
came to life, and now it's like, oh, next best thing. And so that's something I'm trying to teach my kids again, is just like, be content with what you have going right now. Because again, 8 years ago, before I got into the fire service, I would have killed. If you would have told me you're going to be this many years in, you're going to be, you know, one of the senior guys on your shift, you're going to be doing this and that and getting ready for this test, and, you know, I would have laughed. You know what I mean? And now you look at it and you're like, just enjoy where you're at right now.
But it also, I think that's, you're where you're at because you're driven.
Right.
So it's a
Right.
double-edged sword.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you're driven to get where you're at. And so when you get there,
Biggest
You're gonna
question.
raise the
what's
bar.
the next
Yeah.
thing,
Next one,
right?
what's
Where
the next
you're
thing?
trying to go to the next thing. And so there's a never-ending battle of
Right.
trying to get to the next thing and never being content with where you're at. And that's the only reason that you've gotten there in the first place.
Right, for sure.
And so if you kill it,
Right.
then you kind of kill off a little bit of, like, to me, your
Who you
soul
are.
or who you are.
Yeah, that drive.
Yeah. And that drive is what I think separates a lot of people. Like, I've never understood being able to go to work and do the same thing every single day. Even to the point of, like, with my background in mechanical engineering, I know some engineers that are totally content with going in there and designing the same machine or parts on that same machine for 20 years.
Well, because you know your expectations, right?
It's
you
easy.
know what your
It's
day is
comfortable.
going to look like.
That's where it goes.
It's
Being
comfortable.
comfortable is like, you're not put in those
Yeah.
weird spots where you have to make a decision or you have to push yourself to learn more or be better. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. It's nice when you go to work and you're like, we don't really have anything going on this week. I'm comfortable in my position. You know what I mean?
Watching
you're like,
movies,
yeah,
cleaning trucks.
Firemen do more than that. I know everyone makes you just hang out and barbecue.
shine in your
and
fucking pole, dude.
Shine the trucks and watch movies, you know. There is sometimes we just do that, but, you know. there's
Shooting
times
your
where you
next
work.
calendar.
Yeah.
Looking for
Yeah.
puppies.
Yeah, saving cats out of trees. But that goes back to that being comfortable thing, right? And just like, it's easy to cruise when you're comfortable. It's easy to just, you know what I mean? Yeah, you get complacent. What else is there to do? Like, I'm comfortable. I'm doing all right. But everything, like you said, I think, at least for me, and I'm sure you guys, like, everything's like that next thing. Like, even saving money, like looking at your retirement, I'm like, oh, where could I get this year? Where could I in 365 days, where could I be? You know what I mean? So it's just like, constantly leveling up of like, where should I be next? Where should I be next?
You know? And then playing that balance between like leveling up your family's comfortability,
right,
and also retirement,
yeah,
and all of that other stuff, right? Or your hunting trips and balancing.
Oh yeah, I'm ready to go hunting again. You know what I mean? That's like I always joke with Liam because I'm like, instead of a big graduation party, like, where do you want to go hunt?
Yeah,
you want to go do a
Let's
big
go
goose
Alaska
hunt
or something.
Yeah, you want to go shoot a caribou? Like, I'll pay for that. I want to do a graduation party.
Yeah.
He's all in. He's like, deal. He's like, let's go right now.
Yeah.
The night before my elk cut, he was dead serious. He's like, can I go? I'll just wake me up early. I'll put my boots on. I'll just go with you. I'm like, you can't, dude. Like, you have, like, this is so much more than just go. Like, this is, you know what I mean? And he's like, what? Why? I'll just put my boots on. I'll just come with you. Like, he wasn't understanding, you know what I mean? He's just like, you're going, I want to go.
I almost brought Nico on my brother's spike elk hunt.
Yeah.
If it was my tag, I would have brought him.
Right.
It was like my brother's. I just wanted to make sure my brother got one. I didn't want to like have to be dealing with Nico or something in the middle of it. But like,
And then he didn't get one, right?
Oh, we got one opening. We got one first morning.
Oh, that's right. I was thinking of a different
So
hunt.
you sent me the video.
I was thinking of a different
Yeah.
hunt.
Oh.
Yeah, we caught him
Yeah.
the night before opening day, and then the next morning, like first light, we found him again. It was the most deceiving mountain I've ever walked up in my life because we were in the valley floor, and that peak was at 12,000, so it was like probably a little over 4,000 foot climb to the peak.
Yeah.
But the
That's
foothill,
a lot of elevation, too.
the foothill on it was 3 miles long,
Yeah.
and you didn't know, and it was 1,000 feet of elevation. And so we saw
It's
them
like 3
right.
miles just to get to the base of the mountain.
They were right at the base of the mountain.
Yeah.
And so we were like, dude, money.
We'll be there in a minute.
We're going to be there
Yeah.
in 2 seconds.
Yeah.
And it was cutting through junipers and stuff. So you're kind of down in the junipers. And we're walking, and I'm like, what is happening? And my brother keeps pulling up on X.
I was going to say, check it on X.
You're like-
how far did we go?
We're like, are we just going in circles right now? What are we doing?
there yet?
Well, and he was like zoomed out. So it looked like we were like, oh man, dude, we're almost out. Like, just keep going.
And then you zoom in and you're like,
And we're walking and we finally get to the edge of the trees, which is pretty much the base of the mountain. We get into them. My brother makes a really, really nice shot, fill the tag. And we get looking at it. And so if we were tracking it, it was like a little over 3 miles, like 3.5 miles. There was a trailhead on the other side of this like ridge that was only 1.5 miles from us. So I was like, shit, man. Like, okay, well, we'll pack out
That
over
way.
a little over half
Yeah.
down because we got to go down anyway, and then we'll get in the rig and we'll drive
Bring the
around.
rig around.
We'll go from that trailhead over and we'll cut across. That's what we did. And to me, that was a mistake because the first back out, no problem. We got it out. It was easy and stuff. And then we like sat and had lunch.
Oh.
Dude,
oh, yeah, you cooled off.
my legs were like,
yeah, you got to keep
Object
going.
in motion stays in
Yeah,
motion.
you got to keep going.
Yeah.
Nothing
Yeah.
like stopping.
It's,
Yeah.
yep.
That was the one. That's,
we had like it was cold. Like everything was
Yeah.
good. We had him up on a tree.
Yep.
He shot him at 8. It was like 8:10. It was the night before. We're having like cooking dinner and stuff, and my brother's like, "Oh yeah, man, 8 o'clock tomorrow. We'll have it. We'll be
all
tagged
done.
out." And he was like 8:10, and
That's
and he
perfect.
shot him, and it was like my legs were concrete. So we
Yeah.
just were like we were taking our time, not trying to push ourselves. It's opening day. We were planning on being there for 7 days, like.
Got plenty of time.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
cruising, yeah.
Well, and it's also like winter, so
Yeah.
like the sunlight. We ended up packing out in the dark. By the time we like went
Yeah,
back,
you'll have 6
Yeah.
hours
had
of
lunch,
sunlight.
we got
Yeah.
back up there, and then we like got them.
Yeah.
The thing I'm really bummed about that, this is a complete tangent story, is that I like took a long time like cutting the whole back off them because I wanted to tan that hide and
Yeah.
I wanted it in this room. And I rolled it all up, put it in my pack, and it fell out. I don't know.
did?
Yeah, it fell
You
out.
never found it?
I got back to camp and my pack was in the rig, and I asked my brother, I'm like, dude, where'd you put the hide? He's like, I didn't touch the hide. It was gone. It's like the meat was like
Maybe you
in
just
the
got
actual
tired.
So if you
like
found a really nice rolled up
I
hide,
was
in
gonna say
Nevada,
so, yeah.
south of Ely.
Yeah. We know where
There's
it
a
goes.
really there's a nice big old chunk.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
a
I was
bummer.
so excited about it. I
You
didn't even know what I was
notice
going
your
to do with
pack
it.
get
I
lighter
just,
all of a sudden. You're like, man, my legs feel great.
well, that's what,
You
I
get
was,
tired on clipping. You're like, we don't need it that bad.
I was clearly hurting so bad that it didn't matter if I
Didn't
dropped 30
even
pounds. Yeah, those hides weigh a lot too.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's a big animal. That's a big animal.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. Again, that's like I'll remember that hunt because it was it was like a deceiving pack out. Because there's a difference between like knowing, like you guys, when you left that camp to go, get back to his wife, you knew it was going to be shitty from the gate, right?
We talked, yeah.
You were like,
you had to mentally, we had like kind of a come to Jesus moment where we were like, are we doing this? Like, if we leave, that's the thing. We're like, if we leave, we're not like, we have to make it. Because if we don't, like, we're not stop. Like, you can't stop. Our camp's here. Our trucks are there. We have nothing in between unless we're setting up camp for the night.
Which at that point,
just being miserable because it's raining on us now and it's starting to snow and it's just nasty outside. So when we left, I'm like, rain gear, food, water, fire starter. Like, do I have, jet boil, coffee? Yeah. I'm like, do I have enough stuff to survive tonight? Because that was all my concern was. I'm like, if something happens, are we good tonight? But yeah, I mean, we knew like once we left, like we're going. So figure it out. And it worked out this time.
So yeah, and that one though, you guys had that come into Jesus moment. You know it's going to suck. And so you can turn yourself into that mode of
just grind. Right, we're
just going to grind. We're going to go into a dark place for a couple hours, and then we're going to have a really long drive, but we'll get it done. Yeah. And then like my brother's one was like deceiving, right? Where we didn't have that thought process.
And I've had that before too.
We're just trucking, and you don't even know there's elk, which animals tend to like drive you further than you probably should sometimes. And all of a sudden you realize you're like, oh man, we're a little too far in now. Like we shot him, then realized where we were at. And you're like, okay, now we got to like switch our brains over, but we're in it now. Yeah. Like it was past that point. You didn't have that decision-making moment or to get yourself either a plan B. Now your plan A is now just grind. Your plan A harder, which we did come up with a plan B of like, let's work over that trailhead, make it shorter. That one had more elevation gains and losses. So we had to like climb a mountain for that one. But yeah, I don't know. It's that childhood of like growing up and putting yourself in weirder, smaller, bad places and knowing how to get out of it. I think allows you as an adult with a little bit more brain power and knowing what you're getting into.
A little more common sense, a little bit.
Maybe.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Sometimes. Yeah. I think it's like a core value that.
So what do you think your plan is for Nico then going forward?
I think just dragging him behind me on all of my trips, that controlled, uncomfortable situations. Like unfortunately, I would love to take him duck and geese hunting. Like to me, that cold is
next level.
And you're just sitting in it.
That's the thing. Like at least when you're trucking on a good deer, and you're like, cool, I'm freezing right now, but in 10 minutes I'm just stripping this coat off because I'm. But when you're just like you said, I remember just laying cold alfalfa field, poking hip everywhere, just fog, and you're just like, oh my gosh, just a sheet of frost over everything. You're like, we can't move. Like we know they're coming. We're not gonna. You can't move. You know what I mean?
You're like set up, and it's before the sun comes up.
Yeah.
And you're like, the sun starts coming up, and
that
there's
cold before the sun comes up, like right that 30 minutes. Oh my gosh!
You knew what I was talking about before I even said it.
There's everyone's like, the sun's coming up, it's gonna warm up. Nope, you're gonna get miserable.
It's gonna get really bad for another like 20, 30 minutes. Then all of a sudden you're gonna be warm. It was
then that direct sun hits you, and you're like, oh. But that feeling too, just that sun hitting your back or your face, and you're like, oh, this is. Again, I made it. That's reality.
Yeah, you're like, I
made it. That's reality. Yeah. You're getting a real dopamine hit because the sun's hitting you in the face or warming your back, and you're not scrolling the gram. You know what I mean? But like that's a real thing.
It's 100% the real thing.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to put it. Is just drag them along with you. That's my plan. Is like, dude, you're like if again the big elk hunt wasn't, he couldn't go with us on that. Just obviously logistics and him being 10 years old. But anything local or going out, like, dude, figure it out.
I struggled with like growing up. My dad always rifle hunted, so like you can kind of have a couple people on a rifle hunt. Right? You're 100 yards more.
Right.
Yeah, it's a little easier to drag a couple people, but like archery hunting, it's like if I brought him archery hunting, I've always had the issue of like, well, if I get to 100 yards, I'd be like, all right, buddy, you're staying here.
Yeah.
And I'm going to leave you for a while.
Yep.
And sometimes that while is 3 hours, 4 hours.
It might be 6 hours. It might be all after. I might see you at dark.
Yeah.
Don't move.
I'll lay there. Yeah. And
here's a headlamp.
That's that uncoachable situation where I'm like, I want him to figure it out, but at the same time, I'm like, I feel like that might push him over the line of being like, I don't ever want to do that again because I had to sit in the sagebrush in 100 degrees in the middle of August.
Or if it like scares him, you know, where it does get late, right? And all of a sudden they realize it's gotten late.
My dad had a sheep tag when I was younger, and we rode in on the 4-wheeler, and it was just him and I were just scouting for the day. And, you know, we had the binos and the tripod, and we had the cooler with us. And I'm little. Like, I don't even remember how old I was at this point. I was probably 7. Young enough that 7, 8, like young enough that being in the mountains by yourself was scary.
Yeah.
But I remember we got to this glassing point and we're glassing, and he's like, "Hey, I'm gonna just walk down this ridge line. I'm gonna look down this other camp, whatever, you know. Just stay here. I'll be right back." I'm like, "Okay." I still remember. I could still, again, one of those moments, right? I could still picture it perfectly, no matter how old I get or how young I was at the time. I remember I couldn't see him anymore, and it freaked me out because that sun was starting to go down. And I remember I just like, "Dad," like crying, yelling, like, "Dad," you know. I'm like, "He left me out here," you know what I mean?
Totally.
And so I'm like, but that was like one of those moments. Like he comes back, he's like, "You're good, like we're good, dude. I was just right there. You just couldn't see me," you know what I mean? And it's like, okay, all right. And then coming back, talking about Snickers, it made me think of this. We had lost our pack of Snickers off the back of the 4-wheeler, and they were laying right there in the road.
Oh, good find.
Gold.
So we found the gold on the way home. And we got our Snickers.
That's so good.
I had similar. We were hiking. I didn't grow up big game hunting.
Yeah.
We were hiking up in Canada in Jasper National Park. There had been a grizzly bear sighting.
No.
like a week before. So we're hiking and we stop at this vista, and my dad goes, "I just want to check out like this other thing." And I was probably like 12, and I'm like, I'm done.
Yeah, I'm not going no more.
I'm done. I'm gonna wait here. Like wait at this like trail split sign. And he kind of goes over a ridge, and all of a sudden I hear like branch crack, and I see just the tip of an antler. And I just read a book about the Iditarod and how they will stomp. Like moose will like crush dog sled teams and stuff. And I was already heightened from the bear, and I scream. I'm like, "Dad!"
Yeah.
I'm trying to climb. There's like a sign, right? I'm trying to climb.
She's like, "I'll do it."
My dad comes running back over the ridge, and I still can't see what this is. He's up above me, and he sees it, and he just starts laughing. He stops, and he's like, what the heck, Melinda? And it was an elk. Like, no big deal.
Yeah,
You're like on a sign. There's an elk there.
My dad's
Elk's like, what the heck?
Seriously, that elk was like, what is it couldn't see me because I couldn't see the rest of its head. I just saw the top. I thought it was a moose because we're in Canada, you know?
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
I hear there's an abundance of them there.
But I think my dad lost a few years off of his life.
Oh,
Just running back.
Just hearing me scream, thinking it was a bear.
Right.
We never saw the bear.
I could deal with mountain lions all day.
Grizzlies,
I mean, any bears, I'm just like, you know.
That's what's
Like,
tough
I'm
about
not a
like
huge
hunting.
fan of-
Yeah, Montana always like
Yeah,
like I'll go in Nevada and pretty much just have the bow. I'll bring my pistol sometimes, but
yeah, I'm pretty content in Nevada.
In Montana, it's easily accessible and it's always there.
Yeah.
Like normally I hunt with a guy that lives in Missoula. He's my childhood friend. I've known him since I was 4. And he lives there now. We try to hunt every year together. And he's been up there for, I think it's like 12 or 13 years or something now. And he hunts like nobody else. Like he hunts like everybody else in Montana, I suppose, just all nonstop. And he's never even seen one.
Oh, really?
Mm-mm.
That was funny.
Wolves all the time. You see wolves every
on
time.
that Idaho hunt. They have bears up there, you know, that we don't have them here like they do there. So we all like showed up with bear spray and stuff. And the guide was like, "You don't need that."
Yeah.
I threw it in my pack, never even opened it. I returned it back to Shields when I got home. I'm like, all right, cool. It's like, if you see one, let us know. We'll come shoot it.
Yeah.
They had bear hunters there too at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
So
Like black bears and stuff, we see they're like rodents up there.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like it's over the counter too, even for non-resident in Montana, and they're everywhere.
Yeah.
Like we get a bear every single year out of our camp. Normally it's the whitetail doe or like whitetail. Try not to shoot a doe unless it's like the last couple days.
Mm-hmm.
But whitetail deer and then black bear, we all have tags for them, and we're hunting elk, but we can shoot those assuming certain units and stuff. And so every once in a while, we're just like, oh, well, this is too good of an opportunity. And we shoot that. And they're like, okay, well, we're done for this morning. I got to go break it down and take it back to camp. And then we go right back to elk hunting that afternoon or whatever.
That's pretty awesome.
It's such a good trip. Awesome. But yeah, the grizzlies and stuff worry me up there. The wolves don't. Yeah. I feel like the wolves are just annoying.
It's an extremely low percentage of wolves attacking humans.
Yeah.
There's like way more, I think, way more black bear. I could be wrong, but black bear and even like mountain lion are more common than a wolf attacking a human.
For the wolves and stuff, they're more just annoying because they push the animals around.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So they just like, they kind of screw up the hunting. It's like if you were fishing a pond and then there was a bunch of kids jumping in the pond.
Yeah.
Right.
You're like, well, I might as well not even fish. Mm-hmm. That's how it is. You go up there and you start seeing wolf tracks. And you're like, we just got to go somewhere else because the elk are just, if they are here, they're freaking
blown out.
Yeah, they're getting, it's like there's a million hunters up there just getting run.
I was listening to a podcast the other day and they were talking about how they're starting to see mountain lions kill more deer and elk now in wolf country because the wolves will just follow the mountain lion. He killed something, a big Tom killed something. The wolves will show up, run the lion off.
Mm-hmm. So he has to go get another one.
So then he has to go get another one. So now he's like doubling up. You know what I mean? And mountain lions are killing machines. They'll take stuff out all the time. Mm-hmm. And
that's
so
what
they're
stuff
just
is
like
predator management.
Yeah, taking those things out left and right, which is a bummer, obviously. Hurts the population.
Yeah. So one thing we've been doing on the podcast is just asking a question that kind of wraps up the episode a little bit. What is one skill that you feel like is mandatory to pass on to the next generation, especially your kids?
I think one of the biggest, we talked about a ton of different things that we want them to learn how to do. The biggest thing that I want them to know, and it's not even necessarily maybe a skill or a single skill, but you just have to be capable of, like you said, like you have to understand that no one's coming to save you, right? Mm-hmm. Life's not fair. Like we talked about that. No one's coming to save you. If you want something, you're going to have to work for it. And whether or not you work hard enough, you still may not get it. But like one skill is just having that confidence to know that you could at least try something, whether you fail at it, whether you're successful at it, but just probably that confidence of skill and knowing kind of who you're around. And, again, being capable to go out. And if you want to go hunt, go hunt. Know that if you do kill something, you're going to have to be tough enough to break it down and get it out. If you, want to try something new, get after it, whether it's jiu-jitsu or whatever, you know what I mean? But just being strong and capable, which I think is a skill to teach kids, you know what I mean? Because we see so many kids now. Today we were walking around, we went out for my daughter's birthday, and Liam was walking, and he was looking at his feet, and I'm like, dude, pick your head up. Like, look at, put your shoulders back, put your head up, know who's around you. Pay attention to what's around you. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Not just to be on edge all the time, but just know who's around you. You know what I mean? Know what's going on around you. Walk
the world's out here.
Yeah, walk with confidence. Mm-hmm. Pick your head up. So it's just that skill of confidence, and being able to. Yeah,
confidence is, I think, all inclusive. For sure. Confidence builds the ability to build new skills.
Yeah.
It also builds the ability to get out of bad situations, come up with plan Bs. So I think the guys that have less confidence are probably the guys that are just trying harder at plan A.
Yeah.
They're plan A harder. Is they just don't have the confidence to pivot. This was the plan. I'm just going to keep beating this plan to death. And that confidence, I think, drives you out of those bad situations, whether it's, for me, my answer actually is ironically pretty much the same. One of my better skills that I have is the confidence to say that I can do something that I have no clue how to do it.
I do that all the time.
Yeah.
It's all the time.
Yeah.
It gets me out.
Most of the time I really don't know how. And I'm like, YouTube.
Yeah.
Instagram. We'll figure it out.
Every engineering interview I've ever had, they're like, do you know this? I'm like, yep.
I'm gonna when I get to the car and Google it.
Give me a week and I'll know. I'll
figure it out.
Just as good as anybody else. Yep. And I think that is a skill of being okay with the unknown.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then just knowing when that time comes, you're just gonna figure it out. Yeah. And it's not even serious at all. Because I at home we're redoing our backyard, or we're finishing our backyard rather. But one thing that I really want to do, and I'm going to do, is I'm going to build a true outdoor sauna. Nice. And that's the best thing about Haley is she's literally she has the most confidence in me in the world. I've tricked her so hard because she's like, you got it. She's like, yo, just figure it out.
You're like,
you
just like walk away. You're like, yeah, I got it.
Yeah, I totally got it. I'm like, how to build outdoor, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm like, yeah, I've framed stuff before. I've built decks. I've roofed stuff before. I'm like, how hard can it be?
I know someone who just built one, so I'll ask for any tips and tricks. And I'll let you know.
Yeah, we'll have to do another one. Like how to build sourdough in your sauna.
Yes. There you go. 425.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like I'm
Totally.
like, I'm gonna just figure it out. I know how to frame stuff. I know how to hang doors. I know how to roof. Like,
yeah, just put it all
how hard can
together.
it be?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And then
But
fill in
just-
the blanks in between.
Yeah, and that's like one thing that I'm trying to teach the kids. Kind of back to that question is Liam really gets frustrated when like if he'll try something one time and if he doesn't get it, he's like mad. And I'm like, oh yeah, from all the experience you've had learning how to do this for the last 5 minutes, you mean you're not an expert at it? Weird.
It makes sense to be so frustrated.
yeah. So I'm like, dude, it's
course you'd be
okay.
upset.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Give it 20 minutes a day, and pretty soon you'll have it down. You know, I think he still has Nico's guitar, and every once in a while I'll hear him strumming away in his room. You know, and even Haley was like, "Is that Liam, or is that like on his iPad? Like, what is that?" I'm like, "No, that's him." He's
awesome.
learning a couple of things. You know what I
Figuring
mean?
it out, yeah.
Yeah.
So just that skill of confidence. But whatever it is, I mean, you know, like I said, that leads to so many things. Whether it's a new job, new career, new actual hands-on skill, whatever that be, jiu-jitsu, learning how to weld or frame. I mean, you're into all that stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
My sauna broke the other day. I was in it, and it was like running, and all of a sudden it's just like, poof. I have like an infrared one.
Yeah.
It's like
That's what we
everything,
have
power
right
just
now.
went out. And I was like, shit is that? And so I was like, whatever. So I like get out, and it was like a week later. I was like, I'm gonna go look at that thing. I like took the top off of it, and I just had my multimeter out, and I'm like checking where the power's at. Like, oh, the little power supply, the inverter that changes the 110 to 12 volts is out. So I just bought one on Amazon, and I just wired in the new one. I have a sauna again.
see, exactly. But you had the confidence. You're like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna figure this out.
Totally.
And
then I came out and told Lindsay, I was like, sauna works again. She's like, it does?
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah.
you're like, yeah, I'm a man.
I mean-
I got it figured it out.
Yeah.
No problem.
Yeah,
You're really like, again, Google.
Have you seen the
Yeah.
one where the guy's like, if you want to impress your wife, and he's like turns the water off to the
He's
toilet?
just
Yeah.
like, the toilet's not working. He's like, got it fixed, honey.
Yeah, I'll go
Tight,
look
tight.
at it.
all the
pickle
jars.
jar.
Yeah.
He's hammering stuff like a board or
That's
something.
a few years ago. I roofed my horse shed.
Yeah.
Like I YouTubed it. It had to get done. It was early November. At the time, my husband was on an elk hunt, and I knew there was this storm coming in, and our
had to
our
weather it
shed
in, yeah.
leaked. Right, we had just
Yeah.
sealed it. I was like, well, and I looked it up on YouTube, and I roofed the shed while he was gone. He came back, and he's like, oh, we didn't roof the
And
shed.
it's
I'm
still
like, "No,
probably
I did."
dialed, isn't it? It probably still works great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did
And that was the year-
asphalt tile?
And that was the year that we had all the snow. It was 22, 23 when we had
She's
like,
an onion, dude.
Yep.
She's got
Peel
all
it
these
back
layers.
layers.
You don't even have a clue.
All right, well, you're coming to help me build this.
we joked, yeah, sure. My friend came over and helped me a little bit. We joked, we're like J&M Roofing, don't call us.
Yeah.
We can't.
Yeah, that's one thing I
The
learned from
worst
roofing
job.
is I never wanted to be a roofer.
don't
I'm like,
want
this
to.
is horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could never do it.
But just taking that initiative, being like, it's hard to instill in a kid.
Yeah,
Right.
and that's why, like, even
Why don't you just try?
yeah, just give it a shot. What's the worst that's gonna happen? You're gonna have to redo it.
Yeah.
You're
Okay.
gonna have to learn something.
Yeah.
It's gonna take you 2 times instead of 1 time to do it. That's why I even like rotating tires, changing the oil on the car.
Oh my gosh.
I'm like, just come out here, learn how a floor jack works and jack stands and how you rotate tires and how you drain
Jack
your
yourself
oil.
up and then
Yeah,
look.
yeah, you
That's
get
all I
up
did when
and
I was a
down
kid.
the
I
whole
would just jack
time,
myself up.
It's like just you're gonna come to learn how to do it because there's been so many times I'm like, oh, this is bad on my truck. Cool, don't know how to get to it, but I'm gonna figure it out.
Yeah.
In between, again, that's where that good source of the phone comes in
Right.
handy then because you're like enough people have posted about it. You're like, I'll figure this out. Just save myself $1,000 by not taking it to a mechanic. You know what I mean?
It kind of blows my mind the amount of people I see who don't know how to change their tire.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, I have roadside assistance. I'm like, yeah, but roadside assistance is going to take hours.
And that works
to
great
come
if you're not
change your tire.
in the
It
middle of
literally takes
nowhere.
10 minutes,
Yeah.
even if you're in the middle of town, right?
Yeah.
It takes 10 minutes,
Yeah.
maybe 15 if you're slow at it.
Yeah.
Just why would you wait? Isn't your
Right.
time valuable?
Yeah.
Right.
Such a simple thing.
Same.
Dom.
Yeah. Right?
Do we need to teach you how to change your tire?
That's another episode. I'm coming up with all these episode ideas. Sourdough, sauna building, and changing tires.
That's
One
right.
thing, and then we'll finish up here, is we've talked about doing a Stop the Bleed one, and I want to do probably not a podcast, but like an actual just like video on it and social video on it. Since we didn't even talk about all your medic background, so we'll have to have you back on and talk a little more about that. Stop the bleed. That's a skill that everybody should have.
Yep. Absolutely.
Especially going out, if you leave society,
you need to be able to take care of something until someone can get there to help. And that's why we're like, if to narrow it down to like a single skill, it's like, there's not a single. I wish I could pass off everything to the kids, you know what I mean, or your family or your wife. But it's like,
I think you end up doing that more than you think you do, though, and then they'll end up teaching you shit later on.
100%.
But yeah, I mean, I guess the stop the bleed would be tourniquet based for the most part, right? But there would be probably some other stuff that we can do. But
there's so many things that we could go over for a video. I mean, we could do chest seals and
I love it,
wound packing and tourniquet application and all that stuff. But if you're gonna, that's another thing, right? If you're gonna have the confidence and the want and the skill to go out and hunt or fish, or even if you're just out hiking, I mean, whatever, you better know how to stop a bleed if you
shit happens.
If you catch yourself on a broadhead or whatever. I was out sighting in my bow with broadheads, and I have my little trauma pack that I carry with me in my truck all the time, and I cut myself with a broadhead, and I opened it up, and I had everything to stop like a major bleed. Like if my arm was cut off, I'd be fine. Didn't have a single Band-Aid though, and I'm like bleeding everywhere, and I'm like, cool. I guess I need to get Band-Aids in here. If my arm was blown off, I could put a tourniquet on it. I'd be fine. But I'm like, all right, cool. Step one, get Band-Aids. So now, I even in my hunting pack or my bird vest or whatever I take with me, got Band-Aids, and then I got some more, serious stuff that'll stop major bleeds. But you'll learn and adapt, as you do stuff.
Well, sweet man. All right, we'll land the plane here.
Okay.
So I really appreciate you coming and hanging out.
Thanks for having me
with
on.
us.
We'll do it again.
I look forward to all these other shows that you're signing us up for.
Stay tuned, everyone. There's more coming.
All right. Thanks, Steven.
See ya.
Thanks.
All right. That's a wrap for today's episode. Thanks for tuning in and surviving another hour of our nonsense.
Seriously, if you loved it, hit subscribe, follow, and leave us a review.
And if you hated it, still leave a review. We need validation, good or bad.
And don't forget to check us out on Instagram @SpreadHAViK for behind-the-scenes madness, terrible ideas, and moments where we actually get it right.
And make sure you sign up for HAViK Society, where we're dropping new episodes and other stuff that makes us sound way cooler than we actually are.
Oh, and tell a friend or an enemy. Seriously, make them listen. If they hate it, just blame us.
We've got some seriously great guests lined up, so buckle up. It's going to be a ride.
Until next time, stay curious, stay uncomfortable, and
keep spreading havoc.